the finalists of the men's 1500 metres in the 1987 World Championships. Well, Cram goes in with a big advantage of having a reputation that the rest of the field really fear. But against that, there's the pressure of being expected to win. Cram has to get the gold. Anything less will, I'm sure, be seen as failure. But for the others, really, John, any medal will be a bonus.
It certainly is. Cram will have to start definite favourite here. All the others are running, trying to beat him. And I think that the fact that Steve Cram is the world record holder in the 1500 metres, the mile, will certainly make a big difference, because these athletes know that they have to beat him, and that's worth 5 metres in a race like this.
He brought a book with him to Rome about Herb Elliott, who 27 years ago to this very day won the Olympic title. On this very track, and that inspiration, I hope, will help Steve Cram along to Britain's first gold medal of these World Championships. He wants the pace to be fast early on. That, he knows, is very important. Omar Khalifa of the Sudan. And the Frenchman, Geoffroy, up towards the front of the field. Steve Cram and Abdi Bili, the man he fears, watching from the pack. Steve Scott of the United States, coached by John Walker, in second place at the moment. There's Cram, just 4 from the back. Mike Hillard, the Australian in the yellow vest and green shorts, in 4th place. Jim Spivey of America just ahead of him. Steve Cram facing this big moment with nervousness and tension, wondering if that finishing sprint, which has deserted him a couple of times this season, will be back for this, the most important occasion of all. Geoffroy of France, Steve Scott of the United States, Spivey of the United States, Khalifa of the Sudan, Hillard of Australia.
Well, 63 seconds for the first lap. This is something that Steve Cram was afraid of before he came into this race. I know over the last couple of days that his co-commentator, Brendan Foster, and coach and advisor, has been very, very desperate trying to get somebody that would take the lead. And Cram is doing the right thing. He's moving in. He knows that he's the one who can win this, and the rest have to follow.
It's brave because it's early. It's not yet decisive. It's the way he won the gold in the 1983 World Championships.
And just behind him, there's a little problem there, and Cheriot of Kenya actually fell, but he's got back on his feet and is back in the running.
Cheriot, the Kenyan with the white socks of those two. The other Kenyan, Cheshire, has suddenly decided to go up to the front, number 652. So Cheshire leads. Cram is in second place. Khalifa third. Gonzalez of Spain is in fourth, although he just moves through now third, ahead of the Sudanese athlete. Steve Scott is fifth. Geoffroy of France is sixth. They've completed 800 metres. John Walker.
2:03 to the 800 metres. That was a 60-second lap, and this is what Steve Cram would want, somebody to take it off him and lead for him, because now this gives him a chance to be able to relax. He's a very, very good tactician, Steve Cram. He gets up there right on the pace. Abdi Bili, who's sitting back in fifth at this moment, is a very, very fast man. He's run faster than Cram over the 800 metres this year. Abdi Bili knows if he's going to beat Cram, he's got to come off the last bend with him right on his shoulder to worry him. And Steve Cram certainly knows that this is going to be one of the problems. He's had the same problem in the 800 metres in the British 3As this year, but he's determined that he's going to move it along.
So they approach the bell in the final of the 1987 World Championship 1500 metres. Steve Cram is out in front and winding up the pace. In second place, it's Gonzalez. Third is Abdi Bili, moving through to challenge Cram down the back straight. The big three out in front. Cram, Bili, Gonzalez. Then it's Cheshire in fourth and Spivey of the United States fifth. But with over 200 metres to go, the battle will be between Bili and Cram. Gonzalez well placed to the Spaniard. Bili looking very, very good. Cram knows he's there. Can Cram respond as Bili hits the front? He can't. Abdi Bili is in front, and Cram has lost the gold. Gonzalez comes into the silver medal position, and Abdi Bili has ruined Great Britain's hopes, and Cram can't respond at all and is out of the medals. Abdi Bili gold, Gonzalez silver, Spivey the bronze, and Steve Cram jogs across the line, disconsolate and beaten in 8th place. As the Somalian celebrates a famous victory, Steve Cram, a shattered man. What he feared is what happened. The legs, which have let him down in fast finishes earlier this year, just couldn't respond at the very moment he wanted them to.
Well, Alan, this is the fear that we've had all week, that if they took him on really early and Cram had to push it from a long way out, that the Somalian, who's run so fast this season, a much improved runner, the Americans feel that if this man ever trained more than 40 miles a week, he would be the world record holder for the mile and the 1,500 metres. He knew what he had to do. I was speaking to him this morning. He said he would track Cram the whole way, come off the last bend with him, and of course, he's gone on to win at a magnificent time.
The last 400 metres in 51.4, the last 225.8. It's what Steve Cram knew could happen, what he feared. Fine run by Spivey, incidentally, the American there to take the bronze medal. Gonzalez, the Spaniard, de Silva. But what a celebration for a country that hasn't figured too often in the major medal tables. And the Somalian, who was disqualified, incidentally, in the 1984 Olympic final, unfairly, most people felt, has timed it to perfection to come through and win the world title. Jamaica in one then in this women's 4x400 metres final. Bulgaria are in lane 2. East Germany in 3. Soviet Union 4. America 5. Canada 6. West Germany 7. France lane 8. Neubauer runs the first leg for the East Germans. Then we expect it to be Emmelmann, Muller and Sabine Busch running the anchor leg. Although we are thrown sometimes by some very late changes of mind by the coaches in the relay teams. Incidentally, we're still waiting for confirmation of the British quartet and the formation for the men's 4x400, but we expect that Todd Bennett now will be running the third leg and not Roger Black as was originally intended. But that's to come later. The United States, with Diane Dixon running a hard out here, have made a very good start in the centre of the picture, all in white. Remember, it's always difficult on this first leg of the 4x400 metres because the runners nearest to the camera, who may look as though they're leading, have a little further to go to the handover point. The West Germans looking strong at the finish, and the Canadians also, the Canadians, all in red there, will be well placed behind the Americans. The USSR, though, in the red vests and white shorts, will be in the leading 3. So it's America, East Germany, the Soviet Union and Canada, the first 4.
It's going to be a great scrap, this, isn't it? The East Germans now into the lead from the USA and the USSR. On all form, those 3 are going to be well ahead of the rest, but very, very closely matched. 51.2, the first leg for the GDR, who I timed. The Americans might even been slightly quicker at that time.
East Germany's second leg runner here, Kerstin Emmelmann. Deneen Howard running for the United States, all in white there in second. And for the Soviet Union, Olga Nazarova in third place. The Soviet Union have run a good leg here, although the Americans holding them off as the next changeover comes up. East Germany with a clear lead. Muller has the baton. Soviet Union in second. United States third. Canada in 4. West Germany in 5. And a long way back to Jamaica in 6.
And that was a great leg on that second leg by Kerstin Emmelmann. She ran 49.2 for the GDR to give Petra Muller here an outstanding run, but ahead of the field. Of course, it's always a difficult spot for 400-metre runners. They may not like to be so far ahead, not quite knowing how far the runners are behind them.
The East Germans have had a marvellous week, but they have had upsets, losing their women, that is, the 4x100 metres goal that they were hoped for, and their men going out of the 4x400 metres because of a drop baton. So they will be really, really keyed up to win the gold medal here. And East Germany at the final changeover lead. The Soviet Union in second. The United States in third. Sabine Busch takes on the baton and just has to maintain her form, surely, to bring East Germany gold.
And another great run there for Petra Muller. 48.8 on the penultimate leg. And as you say, there's Sabine Busch there. She's going a little bit easy at the moment. Perhaps she can afford to, but the gap's narrowing.
Brezhkina of the Soviet Union, who won the gold medal in the individual 400, is closing her down. Sometimes some relay runners do like to hold in, as we've seen. So it may be a misleading that that gap is being reduced, although Brezhkina is running superbly there in second place. The United States clear in the bronze medal position from the Canadians way back in 4th, but there will be no mistakes for East Germany this time, surely. And Sabine Busch brings the gold medal and the World Championship crown to East Germany. The Soviet Union takes silver, the United States the bronze. Canada in 4th, West Germany in 5th, Jamaica 6th, France 7th, and the Bulgarians were 8th.
And Bush did all she need then, 49.4 last leg.
And it brought the German Democratic Republic a new championship record of 3 minutes 18.63, Russia 3:19.5, USA 3:21.04.